Hello, welcome to another Studio Takes. I'm Dane Scott. Welcome from somewhat still chilly northeast Wisconsin, where I'm happy to be in my nice, warm, cozy studio, along with Pocket Frog.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby. And today's going to be a good one.
What's on the agenda today?
Today, what we're going to do is to actually switch roles. We're going to become the buyer on Fiverr and see what their experience is like. And I think what we learn from that will be helpful for every part of what we do on Fiverr. That's coming up next.
Studio Takes. Real help for the aspiring voiceover artist and Fiverr entrepreneur.
Let's pop by thegigdoctor.com just for a minute and have a look at something here. As you can see, the whole goal of thegigdoctor.com is to help you to succeed, not only as a voiceover person, but as a Fiverr seller. And everything here has been custom, kind of tailored for that. And there's a number of different things that we're offering, from Gig Doctor checkups, where we go through your gig, to voiceover coaching services, to some courses. And what I want to mention today is something I haven't really talked about that much, and that is something called Gig Winners. Gig Winners is another course. It's a video course, and I got together with 5 other folks who are really, really very professional in the area of doing voiceover demos. And what we talked about was whether it's something that's practical for you to be able to do your own demo, and under what circumstances. When is it advisable? When is it not such a good idea? I'm of the opinion that, especially when you're first starting out, if you have developed some skills in being able to do editing, you can put together something credible. And this course shows you how to do that. So, rather than spending the $1,000 or $500 or $2,000 or $5,000 or whatever it is to do an initial demo, it is possible for you to roll your own until you've got a little money coming in, and at that point you can get fancier if you want to and if you feel that you need to. This course is $75, and today what I'm going to do is to actually kind of throw in a special discount thing for you. So if you stick around till the end, I'm going to give you a $20 discount. I'll give you the coupon code at the end of today's program. All right, let's get down to it. Today, the whole idea, what we're trying to accomplish, is to step into the shoes of the buyer on Fiverr and see what their experience is like. And based on that, we will grow and be able to do a better job for them, and in the process, improve our own performance on Fiverr.
That's a great idea.
So let's get to it. There are actually a couple of things I want to mention. For those who are listening on the podcast, I'm really not doing anything visual today at all. We're mainly just going to be talking to the camera and talking to the microphone. So whichever one you're listening to, it's going to be pretty much the same content. I'm always trying to stay sensitive to the fact that our podcast folks indeed are listening to our YouTube video, and we want to make sure it's as clear for them as it is for everybody else. By the way, if you have not subscribed to the podcast yet, that's something that I would love for you to do, because then you can get these things right along, and that helps us also to grow, give us more exposure. Be sure to give us the 5 stars there on the podcast. All right. So when you are selling on Fiverr, it's very easy to become kind of like tunnel vision, where you're only seeing things through your own perspective. And in the process, you miss out on an important part of the experience, and that is to actually see what it's like to be a buyer. There are lots of good excuses, reasons why you can be a buyer on Fiverr, and you can justify it easily. One of the perfect examples is the gig image. A lot of gig images are not that great on Fiverr. If you do searches for pretty much any service, you'll see some gig images on there that really, really grab your attention, and some that just stink. They just aren't very good. And they're not, you're going to go right past them. You're going to scroll past them. They're just not going to really grab your attention. So what I suggest is, unless you have, some special capability or special ability in that area, let someone who's more skilled in it, maybe that's where their talents are, help you with the layout and the typography. The way the text looks makes a big difference. So do a search for a gig image design or something like that on Fiverr, and you'll find it for $5, $10, $15. Some of these people, it's amazing what they'll do for what they'll charge. And, if they're not charging too much, we know what it's like to be on the other side of that. So drop them a tip and make sure that they know that they're appreciated and so on. With that said, let's, when you're in Fiverr, there's a place as a seller where you can click in the upper right corner of the screen and choose Switch to Buyer. And at that point, then, you can search around and find things that you want to purchase and do searches and so on. So this is what I suggest you do, is to switch to Buyer. And then go to the search box and type in, using our example today, type in, gig image design and see what comes up. Now, you'll see that there are demos. There is a little tiny bit of information right on the search page, but if you really want to see what they're all about, you pretty much have to go to their gig. With voiceovers, it's more a case that, they can actually listen to your demo right on the search page. That's not going to be true in all categories where you're ordering other people's products. But let's just assume that you found someone that sounds or looks interesting to you, and maybe their example that they show in their gig image caught your attention and their price seems good, so you go to their page. All right. Now, on the page, you're looking at their layouts and you're seeing, man, this is a good price and their stuff looks really nice. So you start to get enthused, right? It's like, wow, I'm onto something here. So you start, kind of poking around on the page, and you read their description and you look at their portfolio of some of their other things that they've done. And you're starting to feel really confident about it. So you get ready to place an order with them. And maybe you didn't quite scroll down all the way into the gig description or into their frequently asked questions or into their extras. And you find out that their $5 gig, in order for you to get anything really from them, is going to be more like $50 or $75 or $100, just based on the way they've got the gig structured, the way the pricing is structured, and you've just gotten bait and switched, basically. You thought you were going to get a $5 job done, and no, it's going to be $55 or whatever it's going to be. Still, realistically, 55 even isn't that bad, but there's a certain feeling that you get. It almost kind of creeps you out when you think, okay, they got me over here based on this, and then you find out, man, they're charging a lot more than what it looked like they're charging. So that experience, that actually, early on, when I was putting my gig together and I was having a gig image created, some artwork, was where I really kind of experienced that for the first time, and that has driven my approach, my theories about pricing. I do not believe in being what I call upside down on pricing because of that experience. I don't like the idea of going to a gig and finding out that the starting price is really, really misleading. And that for example, commercial rights are 3 times what the starting price is. So I don't like to be upside down on my gigs. I never charge more for commercial rights than I charge for the gig itself. Because I think it leaves a bad taste in certain people's mouths. Did in mine. So there's one example of where becoming a buyer kind of teaches us a lesson. Another thing is that we may find by looking at the gig that, it was confusing to us. It didn't really describe stuff very well. And we were left with a lot of questions, just not quite understanding what they were offering or how they were offering it because it wasn't expressed very well. There's a second little key to something that we can learn by becoming a buyer. What do we want to avoid, in that way? Now, let's say that I have placed, and I'll just tell you about some things that have happened when I've placed orders, and we'll use those as scenarios. So let's say that I place an order, and, I'm looking forward to I've put in all the stuff, I've gone through all their requirements and filled out all the information. And then we're just waiting for the order to come. And maybe it's going to be a 1-day thing, or maybe it's going to be a 3-day thing, or whatever it is, based on how they've got their gig set up. All right. So, I go ahead and I place the order, and nothing. It's been 12 hours, no answer. What's going on? 24 hours later, maybe it's a 3-day order. They eventually get back to me and they say, got your order, thank you. And that's about it. How does that leave you feeling? Do you feel like you're being well taken care of? Are they kind of like a fry cook? Place the order up and that's about it, Now, when it's a longer period of time before the delivery, it's awfully nice to know that they not only received the order, but that they're working on it, that they're making progress or something. So some kind of a mid-order update is kind of a nice idea. And then maybe you even send them a message and you say, everything looking okay? And then, they get back to you. Maybe they get back to you, maybe they don't. And then suddenly, boom, okay, close to the end of the order process period, the timer's running low, and they just basically say, here's your order. And they, plop the hamburger onto the plate and hand it to you, and that's it, okay? How does it make you feel? Do you feel like you've been well taken care of? Do you feel like they care about you, about your feelings, about your needs? Did they discuss it with you? Did they find out a little about you? Did they ask your name? Did they, so when they delivered it, did they just plop it down in front of you? Or did they say, hope you love this, let me know? That kind of thing. After it's delivered, do they follow up? Do they say, hey, was it good? How did you like it? If you can take a second to leave a review, that would be awesome. And let's get back together again. So there's just so many things that we can do. Actually, the other course that we offer there on the gigdoctor.com, the Fiverr Gold one, 10 proven ways to improve your sales on Fiverr. This is one of the kind of things that we stress in there, is the whole communication thing. And there's a lot that can be done, and much of what is described in there was based on my own experiences as a buyer with sellers. I could kind of see what things had an impact on me positively and negatively, and based on that, I learned a lot and then was able to kind of share that with you. So that's the other course that you could have a look at if you wanted to. I don't want to take a super amount of time on this today. I feel absolutely blessed to have this really nice, quiet day. Now, there are a few orders, but it's not this pummeling of orders that I've been seeing lately. And so I just feel like I could just relax. And I wanted to spend some time on this because this has been on my mind. But then beyond that, I'm going to really be working on my gigs today. I'm going to work on improving how they look, looking for everything that I can do to make them better, work on the demos. And so it's going to be a fun work day today because it's a little quieter. And that's something you can do when, if orders are down, that's a great time to work on your gigs, to work on your gig descriptions, on your demos, on your gig images, on the whole package. All right. So as I promised, I want to go ahead and give you that discount. So let's get to that. If you go to thegigdoctor.com and then under shop, choose Gig Winners course. When you order it, it's going to take you to the shopping cart. And then there'll be a place where it says enter promo code. And what you can put in there is just simply demo reel as one word, DEMOREEL. And when I put it in, it was all caps. I don't know if it really matters if you put it in caps or not, but you may as well. So in capital letters with no spaces, demo reel, DEMOREEL, will save you $20. So rather than $75, you'll get the Gig Winners course and all the instructions you need to put together roll your own demo through the gigdoctor.com and through the special coupon code demo reel. All right. So that said, it's time for me to just encourage you once again to subscribe to the page and hit the bell.
I love those thumbs up.
We want those thumbs ups for sure because that helps us a lot and helps us to grow. And if you have some comments about what we've talked about today, the importance of the experience that we give our buyers, please do comment below in the YouTube, or if you're listening on one of the many podcast platforms, put your comments there. And I'd love to hear what you have to say. We have many more of these planned, lots and lots of great topics. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.
You give me a call.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I think.
Hello, cutie pie.
Until I heard the voice, I'd never done a crazy thing in my whole life.
Goodbye.